Welcome to the Sophia Speaks podcast. This is where I, Sophia, a real woman, speak to real women and some men about issues that matter to real women. Sometimes our conversation will be heavy. Sometimes they'll be light, but they are always informative and will always make you think. If you have a comment or want to ask a question, call 786-749-TALK. That's 786-749-8255. Now, without further ado, let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Sophia Speaks podcast. I am so glad you're here. This is my first official episode after the hiatus, and what better way to kick off a new month than to spend time with my virtual besties. So again, welcome to May. So many things have been going on during my hiatus, and I hope you listened to my welcome back episode. It was really short, and so as not to take up much of your time on the first of the month. This one may be a little short too, but I promise you we will get back to our longer episodes and doing what we normally do. So first, let me tell you what you have to look forward to for the month of May. So on the agenda is monthly celebrations or our monthly observances. That's something new. First of all, it's Mental Health Month. We are going to spend a lot of time talking about mental health because I think although it is not as big of a stigma as it was before, it's still quite a stigma, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable sharing that they've had mental health struggles. So May is Mental Health Month, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about it. Secondly, it's Date Your Mate Month. So for those of you who are married, engaged, have a serious relationship or a significant other, and you've been together for a while and you've kind of let things get complacent, like I've done, as explained in the first episode, it's time to refresh that. Let's go ahead and put a new spin on the relationship, bring more excitement into the relationship, or start spending time together like you once did when the relationship was brand new and you were all goo goo gaga over each other. So this is your time to bring it back. Another observance that we'll be talking about all month will be blood pressure. It's Blood Pressure Awareness Month. And we know that blood pressure is kind of like a silent killer. I know definitely for those who are in the African American or Black community, we get warned about this all the time. And if it's news to you that I'm Black, we kind of got to backtrack and get better acquainted. But yes, I am. I am a beautiful melanated queen. So we're going to talk about blood pressure in ways that you can go ahead and try to control that because it's definitely necessary. And something else that has been popping up all over the place lately is lupus. A lot of people I know have been affected by lupus, and until someone you know is affected by it, you don't really know about it. So I would like to share different warning signs and different ways that you can care for yourself and different things about lupus so you can support those in your life who may be suffering from it, or, you can just be aware to watch for signs and symptoms within yourself. So those are things we will be talking about over the course of the month, right? Next, we'll have some smaller weekly observances, which will be starting off with Small Business Week. I have a small business, being a life and relationship coach, also speaker, blogger, and different things that I do in the community. So that's going to be the 5th through the 11th. And some of these will overlap. Next is Women's Health Week, which definitely ties into lupus and blood pressure and mental health. So that's the 12th through the 18th. Mark your calendars. Something I think that's really important is Teacher Appreciation Week. That will coincide with Small Business Week on the 5th through the 11th. Nurses Week. For many, many years, I worked in an industry where I would credential and staff nurses, and nurses are a big part of my life. My cousin is studying to become a nurse. So I love nurses. They help my husband when he was getting his kidney transplant and all of his appointments. They helped me when I was delivering my babies. And I'm sure you've had an interaction or a run-in with the nurse sometime in your life. So definitely we want to appreciate our nurses, which is the 6th through the 12th. Next is Safe Swimming Week, which is the 20th of May through the 25th. And this one, again, is quite important to the African American or Black community because it seems a lot of Black people I know aren't teaching their children to swim or aren't allowing their children to take swimming lessons. And as a result, many of the trips to the beach, the lake, the pool, or wherever there's a body of water, that results in drownings. So we really want to bring attention to this and encourage you to teach your children to swim. So those are the weekly observances that we'll be addressing, talking about, acknowledging, even if it's just for, a few posts on social media or, a smaller conversation when the time comes. We want to acknowledge it and get the word out. So for those of you listening, please, please, please make a post if you're on social media just to bring attention during these times. And you can watch my social media. You can see the links down below, depending on where you are listening to this podcast, just to bring attention to it. I can reach so many people, but us working together as a team, we can reach so many more, right? And of course, there are daily observances within the month of May. So the first coming up is Mother's Day. That's on the 12th. And I want to hear from you guys telling me what you're actually doing for your mothers on Mother's Day. Or if you've lost your mother, how do you remember her? So let me just say in advance, I am so sorry for your loss, but I hope you have fond memories and you're willing to share them with me. And I may even do a special series of episodes for Mother's Day of just different people recounting the times that they've had with their mothers. So be on the lookout for that too. And on the 18th is Haitian Mother's Day. My husband's family originate in Haiti. So they actually have a separate celebration for Mother's Day on the 18th. So I get to celebrate it twice. So once on the 12th and then again on the 18th. And last but not least is Memorial Day, which is the 27th, which is a popular pool day or a popular beach day, especially again in many communities. But for the African American / Black community, we spend a lot of time at the beach celebrating. So that importance of swimming, Safe Swimming Week, it's right before Memorial Day. So you won't probably be able to teach your children or be able to learn to swim before then, but at least you'll have some knowledge of water safety, right? So that's it for the announcements so far of our observances. But I do want to encourage you to don't be afraid to try new things this month. So set goals. I know it's so cliche to say set goals or set your intentions for those of you who don't like the word goals, but it means the same thing. Make a plan and go out there and figure out how you're going to enact this plan and do something new. Go for it. Make yourself a list of things that you've always wanted to do and at least try it. Get out there and try it. Let me encourage you that there is no shame in not reaching a goal or not, fulfilling an intention, because there are so many people who try things out, once, twice, 3 times, and they don't get it. But maybe on that 45th time, they get it. Or maybe on that 133rd time, they get it. So, part of the journey in learning is actually failing and learning how to do it better. You didn't, if you're not dead, your tries haven't run out. You've been trying to live for however long, you've been alive. And as long as you're not dead, you keep trying to do better the next day. That's the same thing that applies in everyday life. Maybe you're trying to learn how to ride a bike. When you tried to learn how to ride a bike, you fell, and finally one day you got it. When you were trying to learn how to walk, even before you knew that walking was your goal, You had a support system of people telling you, hey, you can do it. Keep trying. And nobody, berated you for not being able to walk. All they did was support you. So tell people about the things you want to do and allow them to support you, because so many times, sorry to say, but we fail simply because we are too ashamed to share that we're trying this new thing, and you don't want the people around you to know that you aren't doing well in whatever this goal is that you're trying to achieve. So please decide to try something new or try something old. Bring back something old so you can, fulfill one of your wishes, one of your dreams, and make yourself happy. Next, do your best. Your best will differ from day to day. And I don't know how many times I've said this, but it hasn't changed. Your best will differ from day to day. And today you'll feel great and you'll give it all you got. Tomorrow you may feel like crap and you can't give it as much. So you give 75% or you give 40% or you give 2%, but you gave something. Again, the important thing is you still have breath in your body, warm blood in your veins, and you can do this. Even if you take an inch or you take 2 feet or you take a mile, forward is forward, and you are a little bit further than you were yesterday. All right. Take life one day at a time is my next piece of advice for this month. Don't worry about the 5th. Don't worry about the 15th. Don't worry about the 31st. Worry about today. Whenever you listen to this episode, just worry about this day. Concern yourself about this day. What can you do to make this day your best day? Because truth be told, today is all you have. Tomorrow is an illusion. You may not make it. Sorry to sound all down, but you may not. That's a fact of life. We know that one day you look up and, people you grew up with or people you heard about or celebrities are gone. They're dead. And all you have is today. Every day you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But does tomorrow ever really come? So I really want you to consider that. The next thing I have is don't ruminate. Ruminate means playing the thing back in your mind over and over again. So the best way to explain rumination is this: how a cow chews its cud. A cow has 4 stomachs. So it eats the grass and it goes into stomach number 1. Then it brings it back up and it goes into stomach number 2. Then it brings it back up and it goes in stomach number 3. Then it brings it back up and it goes into stomach number 4. Then finally it gets rid of it. And hence you have cow patties, right? But it took the cow 3 freaking times to get rid of this. How many times are you going to bring up an issue, play it back in your head, and, push it back down again, bring up the issue, and you keep throwing it up? And it's like having a mind full of throw up, for lack of a better visual. I know it sounds kind of gross, but that's the thing. You're allowing yourself to throw up all of these thoughts, usually negative ones, in your mind, and you just bog yourself down with all this till one day, hopefully, you get rid of it. And there's a process to, processing, thoughts and events and things like that. But most of the time when you're ruminating on something, it's very unhealthy for you. So do your best not to do that. Next is exercise your option to stop, drop, and roll. No, I am not advising you to go set yourself on fire. Although, if you do find yourself on fire at any time, please stop, drop, and roll. But that's not what I mean in this situation. So I've adapted it to just my way of thinking. Stop doing whatever it is that's not healthy for you, or you find that's draining for you, or something that's bringing you down, anything like that. Exercise your right to stop. Exercise your right to drop it altogether. You can put it down and you can walk away from it. And who gives 2 flying bats what anybody else thinks about that? Because you have to live with the consequence, positive or negative, of keep going forward with this thing and keep getting bogged down or being tormented by it, right? Roll your butt right back around and go in another direction. You are entitled. You are very much entitled to do that. And I encourage you to do that. So our motto for this month is stop, drop, and roll, especially if you're on fire, but also if you are in a situation that you don't like, go the other direction. That is so okay. So next, what I have for you is information on my new course that will be starting on the 23rd of May. And I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure I'm correct. So yes, it's starting on the 23rd. And it actually ties into that stop, drop, and roll. Maybe I'll name the course Stop, Drop, and Roll. But let me tell you a little bit about it first. And I have the concept, but I haven't gone through all the details, although I've made most of the activities to go with it. So maybe if you're listening to this, help me out once you hear the description, and maybe, you can help me name the course. So the premise of the course is to get yourself out of your own head. And that means to stop dealing with guilt about situations, face things from the past, and maybe make amends in old relationships or current relationships that aren't where they're supposed to be. So it's to help you with disloyalty, uncertainty, and rumination, things like that you've been going through and torturing yourself. And maybe you don't know how to stop doing things that you've been doing and you've made a habit. So that's what the basis of the course is. And when I put up the landing page, you'll see more about it. So now it starts on the 23rd and it's going to go through July 18th. And only because July 4th falls in there, we'll have the option of either meeting on the week before, which is July 3rd, it's going to be Thursday night. So July 3rd is a Wednesday night, or we can skip the week of July 4th altogether. I'll leave that up to the people who actually sign up. Okay. So early bird pricing starts on May 6th and it'll run through the 17th. And regular pricing starts on the 18th, which there will be two options. If you go with early bird pricing, what happens there is you won't have an application fee because it will be limited to only 15 people, because I want to be able to work with each one of the people individually. And I don't want a really big group. So each person will get my individual attention. And I feel 15 is a good number. So there won't be a application fee, nor will you have to worry about any of the rush that comes with just signing up later. If you want to pay in full, there will be a pay in full price of $200 even. And if you want to make weekly payments, it will be $30 per week. Now, if you wait for regular pricing, there will be a $30 application fee as well as the $30 per week price. So that's the only difference. Okay, so that's the only difference. Again, it's 15 people max to give full attention to those who want to be a part of it. And I want to be able to really walk through this with you. But let me warn you that this will be the only time, one, this course will be given live, and two, that it will be for this price. I guarantee you that this is a small price to pay for what you will get out of this particular course. Again, and it's just to go over, things that you've been dealing with in your past and things that have been tormenting you, and to finally break free from it. So as women, I know we often have those things and we keep it to ourselves and we let it destroy us and follow us into different relationships. And now is the time to stop that. So I guarantee you will be missing out if you don't sign up for this round. Next, I can tell you that June is going to be a month you don't want to miss on the blog. because I have lots of surprises and lots of giveaways. So just stay tuned for that. A lot of that will start to rear its head in this month. So just keep your eyes open. And I think that's about it for this episode. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time and attention. We did go a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I felt that I needed to really explain the program. I want you to reach out to me. Please feel free to reach out to me at sophia@sophiaantoine.com. Please send me an email there, and I can answer any questions you want, or just go to my website and book a discovery call. That's the best way to actually reach me and for us to give our full time and attention to whatever issue you're having, and any questions you may have about any of my courses or my coaching stance or my coaching methods or styles, whatever you want to call it. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to your feedback. Please don't be a stranger. I promise not to go away for such a long time again without any notice. I'm so glad to be back with my virtual besties. Don't forget that I am also an independent consultant for paparazzi. So the link to sign up with me and learn with me, because I am so new to this arena, but I love jewelry. So if you want us to grow and learn together, the link is also there. Let's do this. We can help each other with marketing and just taking the world by storm and making women pretty. So again, you can do what you can do. I can do what I can do, but together we can do a whole lot more. I look forward to hearing from you, seeing you on the blog, getting your comments, getting your emails. And until we meet again, know that I am so rooting for you. I am so happy that you have taken the time to listen to this episode, and I look forward to meeting you here again next week. I'm rooting for you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sophia Speaks podcast. We've had the conversation. You have the information. The question is, what are you going to do with it? See you in the next episode.